everyone, let's go back in time together and learn something new. Chapter 1: The Birth of Rome and the Roman Republic. In the 8th century BCE, a small settlement known as Rome emerged on the Italian peninsula, near the banks of the Tiber River. Its humble beginnings as a village would eventually pave the way for the rise of one of the greatest empires in the ancient world. The story of Rome's birth and the subsequent establishment of the Roman Republic provides a fascinating glimpse into the formation of a political system that would endure for centuries. Legend and myth intertwine with historical accounts when tracing the origins of Rome. According to Roman mythology, the city was founded by Romulus and Remus, twin brothers raised by a she-wolf. As they grew older, Romulus slew Remus in a dispute over the city's location and named the settlement after himself. While these tales capture the imagination, historical evidence suggests that Rome's foundation was likely the result of a gradual process rather than a singular event. Archaeological excavations and scholarly research have revealed that the site of Rome was inhabited as early as the 10th century BCE, with evidence of Bronze Age settlements. Over time, these scattered villages coalesced, and the settlement expanded in size and importance due to its strategic location near the Tiber River and its proximity to trade routes. As Rome grew, it encountered and interacted with other civilizations in the region, including the Etruscans, who influenced Roman culture and governance. In the early centuries of Rome's existence, the city was ruled by kings. 7 legendary kings are traditionally believed to have reigned over Rome, beginning with Romulus himself. These kings, whether historical or mythical, played a role in shaping Rome's early institutions and establishing a foundation for its future development. However, the Roman monarchy faced significant challenges, including internal power struggles and external threats, which ultimately led to its downfall. The final king of Rome was Lucius Tarquinius Superbus, better known as Tarquin the Proud. Tarquin's tyrannical rule and his disregard for the rights and liberties of the Roman people led to growing discontent among the aristocracy and the common citizens. The brutal rape of Lucretia, a noblewoman, by Tarquin's son Sextus Tarquinius became a catalyst for the downfall of the monarchy. Lucretia's tragic fate ignited a fervor among the Roman elite, who rallied against the oppressive rule of the Tarquins. In 509 BCE, an uprising of nobles and senators, led by Lucius Junius Brutus and Lucius Tarquinius Collatinus, overthrew Tarquin the Proud and established the Roman Republic. This marked a pivotal moment in Roman history, as it marked the transition from monarchical rule to a political system based on the principles of representation and shared governance. The Roman Republic became a unique experiment in political organization, with power vested in elected officials known as senators. The establishment of the Roman Republic introduced a new system of governance, which aimed to prevent the concentration of power in a single individual or family. In this republican system, senators were chosen from among the Roman elite and held office for life. They formed the primary deliberative and legislative body, discussing and deciding upon matters of state. The Republic also featured other important offices, such as the consuls, who served as the chief executives, and the tribunes, who represented the interests of the plebeian, commoner, class. The Roman Republic's political structure was characterized by a delicate balance of power and a system of checks and balances. However, it is important to note that this system was not democratic in the modern sense. Political participation was limited to a small portion of the population, primarily the patricians, the aristocratic class. The majority of Romans, including women, slaves, and foreigners, had little to no political rights or representation. The Roman Republic faced numerous challenges and conflicts throughout its history. It engaged in territorial expansion, acquiring new lands and assimilating conquered peoples into its growing empire. This expansion brought both wealth and tensions, as Rome encountered rival city-states and regional powers, including the Etruscans, Samnites, and Greeks. These conflicts would shape the military prowess and political aspirations of the Roman Republic in the centuries to come. Chapter 2: Expansion and the Punic Wars. With the establishment of the Roman Republic, Rome embarked on a path of expansion that would ultimately shape its destiny and establish it as a dominant force in the Mediterranean world. Central to this journey were the Punic Wars, a series of conflicts fought against the powerful city-state of Carthage. These wars not only showcased Rome's military prowess but also tested its resilience, ambition, and ability to adapt to new challenges. The First Punic War, 264 to 241 BCE, marked Rome's initial major conflict outside of Italy. The trigger for this war was the dispute over the island of Sicily, which was a rich agricultural and strategic region. Both Rome and Carthage sought control over the island, leading to a protracted and grueling conflict. The war primarily took place at sea, as Rome, lacking a formidable navy, had to adapt its tactics and build a fleet from scratch. Rome faced significant challenges in naval warfare, as it was pitted against the renowned Carthaginian navy. However, through resourcefulness, determination, and sheer tenacity, Rome managed to construct a formidable fleet and ultimately emerged victorious. The Roman legions also played a crucial role, as they gained experience and honed their military skills in land battles against Carthage and its allies. The outcome of the First Punic War was a defining moment for Rome. It gained control over Sicily, the first overseas territory in its expanding empire. This victory marked Rome's entry into the realm of international power politics, while simultaneously revealing the limits and potential of its military capabilities. The Second Punic War, 218 to 201 BCE, is perhaps one of the most famous conflicts in ancient history. At its center was the brilliant Carthaginian general Hannibal, whose daring tactics and military genius posed a significant threat to Rome. Hannibal's audacious crossing of the Alps with his army and subsequent victories in Italy, including the famous Battle of Cannae, showcased his tactical brilliance and the vulnerability of the Roman legions. Hannibal's success in Italy sent shockwaves throughout Rome and its allies. However, Rome, under the leadership of Publius Cornelius Scipio, rose to the challenge. Scipio devised a strategy to confront Carthage directly, leading to a series of decisive battles in North Africa. The Battle of Zama in 202 BCE proved to be the turning point, as Scipio's forces crushed Hannibal's army, leading to Carthage's surrender. The Second Punic War had far-reaching consequences for Rome. It solidified Rome's dominance over the Mediterranean region and marked the end of Carthaginian power. Rome imposed harsh terms on Carthage, forcing it to surrender its territories, pay heavy reparations, and disarm. This victory also established Rome as the preeminent power in the Western Mediterranean and laid the foundation for its future expansion. The Punic Wars played a pivotal role in shaping Rome's destiny. Rome's triumph in these conflicts demonstrated its military might, strategic acumen, and resilience in the face of formidable adversaries. The wars also highlighted Rome's ability to adapt and learn from its enemies, as it developed its naval capabilities and refined its military tactics. Furthermore, the conquest of Sicily and the defeat of Carthage in the Second Punic War opened up new avenues for Roman expansion. Rome continued to expand its empire, absorbing territories and assimilating diverse cultures. The conquest of new lands provided resources, wealth, and manpower, but it also presented challenges in terms of governance and the integration of conquered peoples. Chapter 3: The Roman Republic in Crisis. The 2nd century BCE was a time of great upheaval and internal turmoil for the Roman Republic. Despite its expanding territories and growing wealth, the Republic faced numerous challenges that would strain its political institutions and threaten its stability. Political corruption, economic inequality, and the ambitions of military leaders all contributed to a crisis that would test the resilience of the republican system. One of the earliest signs of the Republic's growing crisis was the rise of political corruption. As Rome expanded and acquired vast territories, opportunities for personal gain and enrichment became more prevalent. The pursuit of wealth and power corrupted many politicians, leading to a system of bribery, embezzlement, and favoritism. This erosion of ethical standards eroded public trust in the political elite and undermined the Republic's foundation of civic virtue. Economic inequality also became a significant issue during this period. The rapid expansion of Rome's empire brought immense wealth to the ruling elite, primarily the patrician class. Meanwhile, the plebeians, the common people, suffered from economic hardship, landlessness, and limited opportunities. This growing disparity in wealth and social status fueled social tensions and unrest, threatening the stability of the Republic. The Gracchi brothers, Tiberius and Gaius, emerged as prominent figures in this era of crisis. They recognized the need for reform to address the pressing social and economic issues plaguing the Republic. Tiberius Gracchus, elected as tribune of the plebs in 133 BCE, proposed a land reform bill aimed at redistributing land to the landless poor. The goal was to alleviate social tensions and provide economic opportunities for the disenfranchised. However, his proposals were met with fierce resistance from the senatorial elite, who saw their own interests threatened. Tiberius Gracchus was eventually assassinated in 133 BCE, highlighting the violent nature of the political climate. Gaius Gracchus, the younger brother of Tiberius, continued the reform agenda and was elected as tribune in 123 BCE. Gaius sought to address a broader range of issues, including extending citizenship rights, providing grain subsidies, and initiating public works projects to alleviate unemployment. Once again, his efforts were met with strong opposition from the Senate and the conservative factions within the Republic. The tensions between the populares, pro-reform, and optimates, conservative, factions deepened, leading to further polarization and instability. The crisis of the Republic eventually spilled over into open conflict. The 1st century BCE witnessed a series of civil wars that reflected the growing power struggles within the Roman Republic. Prominent figures such as Gaius Marius and Lucius Cornelius Sulla emerged as powerful military leaders, taking advantage of the political chaos to further their own ambitions. Marius, a successful general, utilized his popularity among the soldiers to seize power and undertake military reforms. He initiated changes in recruitment, allowing landless citizens to serve in the army, thereby increasing his own support base. Marius's rise to power and his subsequent re-election to the consulship for multiple terms broke with traditional norms, leading to further erosion of the republican system. Sulla, another prominent military leader, emerged as a rival to Marius. In 88 BCE, Sulla marched his legions on Rome, igniting a full-scale civil war. Sulla emerged victorious and established himself as a dictator, implementing a series of political and constitutional reforms to strengthen the authority of the Senate. While Sulla's rule restored some stability, it also undermined the republican institutions by concentrating power in the hands of an individual. The 2nd century BCE marked a critical turning point in the history of the Roman Republic. The crisis of the Republic, fueled by political corruption, economic inequality, and the ambitions of military leaders, tested the resilience of its political institutions. The attempts at reform by the Gracchi brothers and the subsequent civil wars reflected the growing tensions within Roman society and the struggle for power. These events set the stage for further political transformations and ultimately contributed to the transition from the Roman Republic to the Roman Empire. Chapter 4: The Age of Julius Caesar. In the midst of political turmoil and growing instability within the Roman Republic, Julius Caesar emerged as a figure of immense ambition and charisma. His actions and influence would have a profound impact on the course of Roman history, forever altering the trajectory of the Republic. Julius Caesar was born in 100 BCE into a patrician family. From an early age, he displayed remarkable military and political acumen. Caesar rose through the ranks, gaining recognition for his military successes and establishing alliances with influential figures, such as Pompey the Great and Marcus Licinius Crassus. The three formed the First Triumvirate in 60 BCE, an informal alliance aimed at consolidating their power and influence in Roman politics. Under the Triumvirate's collective influence, Caesar secured the governorship of Gaul, modern-day France, embarking on a military campaign that would bring significant territories under Roman control. Over the course of nearly a decade, Caesar demonstrated his military brilliance, conquering Gaul, defeating rebellious tribes, and expanding Rome's borders. His campaigns not only enhanced his reputation but also enriched Rome through the acquisition of vast resources and wealth. Caesar's growing power and military successes alarmed many members of the Roman Senate, particularly those from the conservative and senatorial factions. They viewed him as a threat to the republican institutions and feared his increasing popularity among the people. In an effort to curtail his influence, the Senate ordered Caesar to relinquish his command and return to Rome without his legions. However, Caesar defied the Senate and crossed the Rubicon River with his loyal troops, an act that marked the beginning of a civil war. This bold move violated Roman law, as generals were prohibited from bringing their armies into Italy. Caesar's military prowess and the loyalty of his soldiers allowed him to swiftly defeat his opponents, including Pompey, who fled to Egypt and was eventually assassinated. With his victory, Caesar emerged as the undisputed ruler of Rome. He was appointed dictator for life, effectively consolidating power in his hands. Caesar implemented a series of political and social reforms aimed at addressing the grievances of the common people and solidifying his own position. He enacted measures to alleviate debt, reformed the calendar, initiated public works projects, and granted Roman citizenship to certain provinces. However, Caesar's autocratic rule and his disregard for traditional republican values concerned many senators and aristocrats who believed in the supremacy of the Senate. These concerns, coupled with fears of Caesar aiming to establish a monarchy, led to a group of senators conspiring against him. On the Ides of March in 44 BCE, a group led by Marcus Junius Brutus and Gaius Cassius Longinus assassinated Caesar in the Senate House. The assassination of Julius Caesar plunged Rome into another period of instability and political upheaval. The power vacuum created by his death sparked a series of civil wars, as various factions vied for control and sought to shape the future of Rome. The ensuing conflicts would eventually lead to the rise of another triumvirate, composed of Caesar's right-hand man, Mark Antony, Caesar's adopted heir Octavian, later known as Augustus, and Marcus Aemilius Lepidus. Julius Caesar's legacy is complex and multifaceted. While his military conquests expanded Roman territories and brought wealth to Rome, his autocratic rule and disregard for traditional republican institutions raised concerns about the erosion of the republican system. His assassination symbolized the ongoing struggle between those who favored strong central authority and those who believed in the power of the Senate. Chapter 5: The Rise of Augustus and the Pax Romana. Following the assassination of Julius Caesar, Rome plunged into a period of political upheaval and uncertainty. In the midst of this power struggle, Octavian, Caesar's adopted son and heir, emerged as the victor. He skillfully navigated the complex political landscape and established himself as the sole ruler of Rome, assuming the name Augustus. His reign marked a transformative period in Roman history, leading to the establishment of the Roman Empire and the onset of a remarkable era of peace and stability known as the Pax Romana. Augustus recognized the need to consolidate his power and secure the loyalty of the Roman elite. He skillfully maneuvered through political alliances and propaganda campaigns, emphasizing his connection to Julius Caesar and presenting himself as a restorer of the Republic rather than a dictator. By doing so, he managed to gain the support of the Senate and establish himself as the de facto ruler of Rome. In 27 BCE, the Roman Senate bestowed upon Octavian the title of Augustus, a term that signified supreme authority and revered status. With this title, Augustus transformed Rome from a republic to an empire, consolidating power in his own hands. However, he was careful to maintain the facade of republican institutions, employing tactics that preserved the appearance of shared governance and the rule of law. Augustus's reign was marked by a focus on stability and the restoration of traditional values. He sought to bring order to a society that had been destabilized by years of civil war and political strife. Augustus enacted a series of social, political, and economic reforms aimed at strengthening the empire and promoting loyalty to the state. These included the promotion of moral and social values, the encouragement of marriage and family, and the reorganization of the military and bureaucracy. Under Augustus's rule, Rome experienced a period of relative peace and stability known as the Pax Romana, which lasted from 27 BCE to 180 CE. This period of approximately 2 centuries was characterized by limited internal conflicts and territorial expansion. The Pax Romana brought immense benefits to the empire, fostering economic prosperity, cultural development, and social advancement. One of the key aspects of the Pax Romana was the establishment of secure borders and the suppression of external threats. Augustus undertook military campaigns to secure and expand Rome's frontiers, solidifying its control over vast territories, including parts of Europe, Africa, and the Middle East. The stability of the empire's borders allowed for increased trade, cultural exchange, and the spread of Roman influence throughout the Mediterranean world. During the Pax Romana, Rome experienced significant cultural and architectural advancements. Augustus encouraged the patronage of the arts, which resulted in a flourishing of literature, poetry, and the visual arts. This period witnessed the works of renowned writers such as Virgil, Horace, and Ovid, who played a crucial role in shaping Roman literary tradition. Augustus himself commissioned grand architectural projects, including the reconstruction of the Roman Forum and the construction of the iconic Temple of Mars Ultor. Furthermore, Augustus initiated administrative and legal reforms that laid the foundation for the efficient governance of the empire. He established a system of imperial administration, with provinces divided into senatorial and imperial territories. He also reformed the legal system, promoting the rule of law and the establishment of courts that ensured fair and impartial judgment. Augustus's reign and the Pax Romana brought stability, prosperity, and cultural achievements to the Roman Empire. However, it is important to note that this period was not without its challenges. Succession issues, occasional revolts, and border conflicts arose, particularly in the later years of the Pax Romana. Nonetheless, the overall period was characterized by a remarkable level of peace and order, as well as significant achievements in various aspects of Roman life. Chapter 6: The Roman Empire's Golden Age. The 1st and 2nd centuries CE marked a period of unprecedented prosperity and grandeur for the Roman Empire. It was a time when the empire reached its zenith, both in terms of territorial expansion and cultural achievements. The emperors of this era, such as Trajan, Hadrian, and Marcus Aurelius, played a pivotal role in shaping the empire's golden age, leaving a lasting legacy of power and magnificence. Under the rule of Emperor Trajan, 98 to 117 CE, the Roman Empire experienced significant territorial expansion. Trajan embarked on ambitious military campaigns that expanded Rome's frontiers to their greatest extent. His conquests included the annexation of Dacia, modern-day Romania, and the capture of the wealthy province of Arabia Petrea, securing vital trade routes in the eastern Mediterranean. Trajan's military successes and his reputation as an able administrator earned him the title of Optimus Princeps, meaning the best ruler. Trajan's successor, Emperor Hadrian, 117 to 138 CE, was renowned for his patronage of the arts and his extensive travels throughout the empire. He implemented a policy of consolidation and stabilization, focusing on fortifying existing frontiers rather than further expansion. Hadrian's Wall, stretching across northern Britain, became an iconic symbol of the empire's reach and a testament to Roman engineering prowess. Hadrian's Villa at Tivoli, a magnificent complex of palaces and gardens, showcased his appreciation for architecture and cultural expression. The reign of Emperor Marcus Aurelius, 161 to 180 CE, marked the apex of the Roman Empire's golden age. Marcus Aurelius was not only a philosopher king but also a skilled military strategist. His campaigns against Germanic tribes along the Danube frontier aimed to secure the empire's borders. Marcus Aurelius's leadership during these military campaigns, as well as his philosophical writings captured in his famous work, Meditations, exemplified the ideal of the philosopher-emperor. The golden age of the Roman Empire was not limited to military conquests. It was a period of remarkable cultural achievements and architectural splendor. Cities throughout the empire flourished as centers of trade, commerce, and intellectual activity. The Roman Forum in Rome, the heart of the empire's political and social life, underwent significant renovations and expansions, becoming a grand civic space adorned with temples, basilicas, and triumphal arches. The construction of monumental structures reached its peak during this period. The Colosseum, inaugurated in 80 CE, stands as a testament to the grandeur and engineering genius of the empire. This massive amphitheater, with its capacity to host over 50,000 spectators, became an iconic symbol of Roman entertainment and imperial power. The Pantheon, built by Emperor Hadrian, exemplified the architectural excellence of the empire, with its massive dome and innovative design. Art, literature, and philosophy thrived during the golden age of the Roman Empire. Roman literature saw the works of prominent writers such as Tacitus, Pliny the Younger, and Juvenal, who provided valuable insights into Roman society and its values. Philosophers like Seneca and Epictetus expounded on Stoic philosophy, influencing the thinking of both the elite and the common people. Roman art flourished, with masterpieces like the statues of Augustus and Trajan's Column capturing the essence of Roman aesthetics. The golden age of the Roman Empire was not without challenges. Despite its grandeur and stability, economic inequality persisted, and social tensions simmered beneath the surface. Moreover, external threats, such as the Parthians in the east and Germanic tribes in the north, posed constant challenges to the empire's security. However, the empire's military might, cultural achievements, and effective administration allowed it to weather these challenges for a considerable period. Chapter 7: Crisis and Decline. The 3rd century CE witnessed the gradual decline of the Roman Empire, marked by a series of internal and external challenges that strained its institutions and eroded its power. Economic instability, political corruption, barbarian invasions, and a succession of weak emperors contributed to the empire's crisis, ultimately leading to its division into the Western Roman Empire and the Eastern Roman Empire, Byzantine Empire, in 395 CE. One of the primary factors contributing to the decline of the Roman Empire was economic instability. The empire faced numerous economic challenges, including rampant inflation, debased currency, and unsustainable levels of taxation. The weight of maintaining the extensive imperial bureaucracy, financing the military, and sustaining the lavish lifestyle of the elite burdened the economy. These economic issues resulted in a decline in agricultural productivity, urban decay, and a growing wealth gap between the aristocracy and the common people. Political corruption further exacerbated the empire's decline. The power struggles and instability that characterized the 3rd century CE led to a succession of weak and ineffective emperors. Many emperors ascended to the throne through military coups, leading to a lack of legitimacy and a dearth of competent leadership. The rampant corruption within the imperial administration eroded public trust and further destabilized the empire's governance. The Roman Empire also faced significant external threats during this period. Barbarian invasions from Germanic tribes and migratory groups, such as the Visigoths and the Vandals, intensified along the empire's borders. The Roman army, once a formidable force, struggled to defend the vast frontiers due to internal instability, military reforms, and financial constraints. The increasing pressure from external enemies strained the empire's resources and weakened its ability to protect its territories effectively. The 3rd century CE saw a series of short-lived and often ineffectual emperors, contributing to the crisis and decline of the Roman Empire. The barracks emperors, as they came to be known, were typically military generals who seized power through force and often met violent ends. The constant change in leadership, along with a lack of a stable and legitimate succession, undermined the empire's stability and further eroded its authority. The division of the Roman Empire in 395 CE marked a significant turning point in its history. Emperor Theodosius I divided the empire into the Western Roman Empire, with its capital in Rome, and the Eastern Roman Empire, with its capital in Constantinople. The division reflected the increasing political, cultural, and economic differences between the eastern and western halves of the empire. While the Eastern Roman Empire, later known as the Byzantine Empire, would continue to thrive for centuries, the Western Roman Empire faced a more precipitous decline. The decline of the Western Roman Empire accelerated in the 5th century CE. Barbarian invasions intensified, with groups such as the Visigoths, Vandals, and Ostrogoths carving out territories within the empire's borders. In 476 CE, the last Western Roman emperor, Romulus Augustus, was deposed by the Germanic chieftain Odoacer, marking the end of the Western Roman Empire. The fall of the Western Roman Empire signaled the end of an era and a profound shift in the political and cultural landscape of Europe. The Eastern Roman Empire, centered in Constantinople, would continue to exist for several more centuries, preserving much of the Roman tradition and exerting a significant influence on the Byzantine world. Chapter 8: The Fall of Rome. The fall of the Western Roman Empire in 476 CE represents a significant turning point in the history of the ancient world. This momentous event marked the end of an era and the beginning of a new era characterized by the fragmentation and transformation of the Roman Empire. The fall of Rome was the culmination of a complex set of factors, including barbarian invasions, internal weaknesses, and political and social changes that had been unfolding for centuries. The decline and eventual fall of the Western Roman Empire were inextricably linked to the incursions of barbarian tribes. These groups, including the Visigoths, Vandals, and Ostrogoths, took advantage of the empire's weakening state and its inability to defend its borders effectively. The Visigoths, led by Alaric, sacked Rome in 410 CE, symbolizing a symbolic blow to the once mighty empire. The Vandals, under the leadership of Genseric, plundered Rome again in 455 CE, further diminishing the empire's prestige and resources. The invasions of these barbarian groups were not solely acts of wanton destruction but rather reflected complex political and social dynamics. Many of these tribes sought refuge within the empire's borders, hoping to benefit from the relative stability and resources it offered. However, the Roman Empire struggled to integrate and accommodate these migrant groups, leading to tensions and conflicts that ultimately contributed to its downfall. Internal weaknesses and political instability also played a significant role in the fall of the Western Roman Empire. The empire had long grappled with issues such as political corruption, economic decline, and social unrest. The concentration of power in the hands of a few elite families, coupled with the decline of civic virtue, eroded the sense of loyalty and duty to the state. The rapid turnover of emperors, often brought about through assassinations and coups, created a climate of instability and weakened the empire's ability to respond effectively to external threats. The final act in the fall of the Western Roman Empire came in 476 CE when the Germanic chieftain Odoacer deposed the last Roman emperor, Romulus Augustus. This event marked the end of the Western Roman Empire, but it is important to note that the fall was not a sudden cataclysmic event. It was the result of a gradual decline, a long process of political, social, and economic unraveling that had been unfolding over several centuries. While the Western Roman Empire fell, the Eastern Roman Empire, centered in Constantinople, continued as the Byzantine Empire. The Byzantine Empire would endure for another millennium, preserving many aspects of Roman culture and governance and exerting a significant influence on the development of the Eastern Mediterranean and beyond. The fall of the Western Roman Empire had profound consequences for Europe and the wider world. The vacuum left by the empire's collapse led to significant political and social transformations. It marked the beginning of the Middle Ages and the rise of new political entities and cultural traditions across Europe. The fall of Rome also had far-reaching consequences for the legacy of the Roman Empire, as its influence and cultural achievements continued to shape Western civilization for centuries to come. Chapter 9: Legacy and Influence. The collapse of the Western Roman Empire in 476 CE did not mark the end of the influence of Rome on Western civilization. The legacy of the Roman Empire is far-reaching and continues to shape various aspects of modern society. From law and governance to engineering, architecture, language, and culture, the impact of Rome is deeply embedded in our collective heritage. One of the most enduring contributions of the Roman Empire is its legal system. The principles and concepts of Roman law formed the foundation for many modern legal systems. The codification of Roman law, most notably through the Corpus Juris Civilis under Emperor Justinian in the Byzantine Empire, ensured its preservation and transmission to future generations. Roman law emphasized the principles of individual rights, contract law, property rights, and due process, all of which continue to be fundamental pillars of legal systems around the world. Roman engineering and architecture also left an indelible mark on Western civilization. The Romans were master builders and innovators in construction techniques. Their expertise in constructing roads, aqueducts, bridges, and monumental buildings showcased their engineering prowess. The architectural marvels of the Roman Empire, such as the Colosseum, the Pantheon, and various basilicas, have served as inspiration for countless architectural endeavors throughout history. The concept of the arch, the use of concrete, and the development of advanced water management systems are all legacies of Roman engineering that continue to shape modern construction practices. The Latin language, the language of the Romans, also exerted a significant influence on Western culture. Latin was the official language of the Roman Empire and became the lingua franca of educated elites throughout Europe. It served as the language of scholarship, administration, and the Catholic Church for centuries. The influence of Latin is evident in the development of the Romance languages, such as Italian, French, Spanish, Portuguese, and Romanian. Even today, Latin remains an important language of study in the fields of law, medicine, and the humanities. Roman governance and administrative systems also continue to shape modern society. The concept of representative government, with elected officials and deliberative bodies, finds its roots in the Roman Republic. The principles of citizenship, the rule of law, and the separation of powers all have their origins in Roman political thought. These ideas formed the basis for the development of democratic institutions in subsequent centuries and remain foundational to modern systems of governance. The influence of Rome extended beyond the political and legal realms. The Roman Empire also played a crucial role in the development of Christianity. The spread of Christianity throughout the empire, facilitated by Roman roads and the relative stability of the Pax Romana, led to the establishment of the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church, which grew out of the Roman Empire, became a central institution in preserving knowledge and culture during the tumultuous Middle Ages. Monasticism, the preservation and copying of ancient texts, and the development of universities can all be traced back to the efforts of the Catholic Church, which continued the tradition of education and intellectual pursuits inherited from Rome. Chapter 10: Epilogue: Reflections on Rome's Enduring Legacy. The rise and fall of the Roman Empire holds a significant place in the annals of history, offering valuable insights into the complexities of power, the challenges of governance, and the fragility of even the mightiest civilizations. As we reflect upon Rome's enduring legacy, it becomes evident that the lessons learned from its journey remain relevant and influential to this day. One of the crucial lessons we glean from Rome's story is the profound impact of political instability on the fate of a civilization. The decline and fall of the Western Roman Empire were marked by a succession of weak and ineffective emperors, rampant corruption, and constant power struggles. These internal challenges undermined the empire's stability and weakened its ability to respond to external threats. The collapse of centralized authority paved the way for fragmentation and the emergence of new political entities, resulting in the disintegration of the empire. Rome's experience also underscores the consequences of economic inequality and the importance of sustainable governance. The Roman Empire witnessed a growing wealth gap between the aristocracy and the common people, contributing to social tensions and unrest. Economic decline, exacerbated by rampant inflation and unsustainable taxation, further strained the empire's resources and eroded public trust. The burden of maintaining a vast empire, coupled with lavish expenditures and corruption, placed significant strain on the economy. Rome's ability to effectively address these economic challenges was crucial in determining its long-term stability and survival. Furthermore, the Roman Empire's story highlights the significance of sustainable governance. The success and longevity of the Roman Republic were rooted in the principles of shared power, civic engagement, and the rule of law. However, as the empire transitioned from a republic to an autocracy, centralized power in the hands of a few elite families eroded the checks and balances that had once characterized the republic. The concentration of power and the lack of effective succession mechanisms contributed to political instability and the eventual decline of the empire. Yet, amidst the tale of Rome's decline, its enduring legacy remains significant. The contributions of Rome to Western civilization are profound and wide-ranging. Roman law, with its emphasis on individual rights, property rights, and due process, forms the bedrock of many modern legal systems. Roman engineering and architecture continue to inspire awe and admiration, shaping the way we construct buildings and infrastructure. The Latin language, the precursor to the Romance languages, has left an indelible mark on our linguistic heritage. The principles of representative government, citizenship, and the rule of law have been foundational to the development of modern democratic institutions. Moreover, Rome's legacy can be seen in the endurance of cultural and intellectual pursuits. The Catholic Church, which emerged from the ruins of the Roman Empire, preserved knowledge, promoted education, and fostered artistic and intellectual achievements during the challenging centuries of the Middle Ages. The classical works of Roman literature and philosophy, preserved and studied during this period, provided a foundation for the Renaissance and the subsequent intellectual flowering of Europe. As we reflect upon Rome's enduring legacy, we are reminded of the complexities inherent in the rise and fall of civilizations. The story of the Roman Empire serves as a cautionary tale, prompting us to consider the consequences of political instability, economic inequality, and unsustainable governance. Rome's journey underscores the importance of fostering robust political institutions, promoting social equity, and cultivating sustainable economic systems. The lessons learned from Rome's rise and fall continue to resonate in our modern world. They challenge us to confront the complexities and challenges of our own societies and inspire us to strive for sustainable governance, the equitable distribution of resources, and the preservation of democratic principles. Rome's legacy serves as a reminder that the fate of civilizations rests on the choices we make and the values we uphold, urging us to learn from the past as we navigate the complexities of our own times. More information and facts. Part 1: Military innovations in the Roman Empire. The military prowess of the Roman Empire was instrumental in its rise and dominance. The disciplined Roman legions, along with their innovative tactics and technological advancements, played a crucial role in the empire's expansion, defense, and enduring influence on future military practices. Exploring the military strategies and innovations of the Romans provides valuable insights into their success and lasting impact. One of the notable military innovations of the Romans was their system of disciplined legions. The legions formed the backbone of the Roman military, consisting of well-trained and heavily armed infantry units. Each legion was typically composed of around 5,000 to 6,000 soldiers, organized into smaller units called cohorts and centuries. The legion's discipline, cohesion, and rigorous training were key to their success on the battlefield. The manipular system was a tactical formation that contributed significantly to the Romans' military achievements. This system, used during the Roman Republic, organized troops into smaller units called maniples. Each maniple consisted of 2 centuries positioned in a checkerboard formation. This flexible arrangement allowed for greater maneuverability and adaptability on the battlefield, enabling the Romans to counter various enemy tactics effectively. Roman military engineers were renowned for their construction of elaborate siege weapons and fortifications. The Romans developed advanced siege techniques and built formidable siege engines, such as battering rams, siege towers, and catapults. These machines enabled the Romans to breach enemy fortifications and conquer well-defended cities. The use of siege weapons was a testament to Roman engineering prowess and their commitment to innovation in warfare. The Roman Empire also made significant advancements in military infrastructure. The construction of an extensive network of roads, collectively known as the Roman road system, facilitated the rapid movement of troops, supplies, and communication across vast distances. These roads were vital for maintaining control over the empire's territories and allowed for efficient military campaigns and logistics. Furthermore, the Romans implemented a well-organized logistical system to support their military operations. Supply lines were established to ensure a steady provision of food, equipment, and reinforcements to the legions. This logistical network was critical for sustaining the empire's military campaigns and contributed to the Romans' ability to maintain control over their vast territories. The Romans were not only skilled in ground warfare but also excelled in naval operations. The Roman navy, known as the Classis Romana, played a crucial role in securing maritime trade routes and protecting the empire's coastlines. The Romans developed advanced warships, such as triremes and quinqueremes, which provided superior maneuverability and firepower. The combination of skilled sailors, well-organized fleets, and advanced naval technology enabled the Romans to project their power and dominance across the Mediterranean. The military innovations of the Roman Empire had a profound and lasting impact on future military practices. The disciplined and organized structure of the Roman legions influenced the development of professional armies throughout history. The manipular system served as a precursor to the later development of flexible tactical formations. Roman engineering techniques in siege warfare and fortifications influenced subsequent military engineering practices. The Roman road system provided a model for future logistical networks, enhancing the mobility and efficiency of military operations. The Romans' naval expertise and advancements laid the foundation for naval warfare strategies adopted by later maritime powers. The influence of Roman military innovations can be observed in the tactics and technologies employed by subsequent empires and civilizations. For example, the Roman military tradition heavily influenced the Byzantine Empire, which inherited the Roman legacy and continued to employ Roman military tactics and strategies for centuries. The Roman military's impact can also be seen in medieval European warfare, where elements of Roman military doctrine, organization, and equipment were incorporated. Part 2: Social and Cultural Integration in the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire was a vast and diverse realm, spanning across different regions, cultures, languages, and religions. Understanding how Rome managed to integrate and assimilate these diverse populations sheds light on its ability to maintain stability, unity, and its enduring legacy. Exploring the impact of Romanization, the spread of Roman culture and values, and the coexistence of different belief systems within the empire provides insights into the social dynamics during this period. One of the key mechanisms through which the Roman Empire fostered social integration was through a process known as Romanization. Romanization involved the spread of Roman culture, language, and values to the conquered territories. The Romans encouraged the adoption of Latin language and Roman customs, while also allowing some degree of local autonomy and cultural practices. This policy of assimilation aimed to create a sense of shared identity and loyalty to the empire. The spread of Roman culture was facilitated by various means. Roman cities, with their forums, theaters, and public spaces, served as centers of cultural and social life. The Roman elites, through their patronage of the arts, supported the development of local cultural institutions and sponsored public spectacles. The construction of public buildings and infrastructure, such as aqueducts, baths, and amphitheaters, not only provided practical benefits but also served as symbols of Roman civilization and brought a sense of shared identity among diverse populations. The Roman legal system also played a role in social integration. Roman law, with its emphasis on the rights of individuals and the protection of property, created a framework for justice and stability throughout the empire. The uniformity and fairness of Roman law provided a sense of security and a common legal framework that facilitated social cohesion. Religion played a significant role in the social dynamics of the Roman Empire. While the Romans had their own polytheistic religion centered around the worship of gods and goddesses, they were generally tolerant of other religions. The Romans adopted a policy of syncretism, which allowed for the incorporation of local deities and practices into their own religious framework. This approach facilitated the coexistence of different belief systems within the empire, allowing diverse populations to retain their religious identities while still acknowledging the overarching authority of the Roman state. The spread of Christianity within the Roman Empire had a profound impact on social and cultural integration. Christianity, initially a marginalized sect, eventually became the official religion of the empire under Emperor Constantine in the 4th century CE. The adoption of Christianity as the state religion brought a sense of unity and common purpose, as well as a set of shared values and moral principles. The Christian Church provided a centralized institution that transcended regional differences and fostered a sense of community across the empire. Despite these efforts at social integration, it is important to note that the Roman Empire was not a homogeneous entity. While Roman culture and values spread throughout the empire, diverse local cultures, languages, and traditions persisted. The Romans recognized the importance of maintaining some level of local autonomy and allowed for the continuation of local customs and identities. This policy helped to mitigate resistance and foster a sense of belonging among diverse populations. The social and cultural integration within the Roman Empire had a lasting impact. It laid the groundwork for the development of a common European identity and influenced the social fabric of subsequent societies. Elements of Roman culture, such as language, architecture, law, and governance, continued to shape Western civilization long after the decline of the empire. Part 3: Trade and Economy in the Roman Empire. The economic prosperity of the Roman Empire was closely intertwined with its extensive trade networks and the exploitation of resources within its territories. Rome's ability to foster trade, establish efficient transportation routes, and develop sophisticated economic systems played a pivotal role in its wealth and power. By investigating the economic mechanisms, trade routes, and commercial practices of the Roman Empire, we gain valuable insights into its economic resilience and the broader implications for global trade. Trade was the lifeblood of the Roman economy, facilitating the exchange of goods and services across vast distances. The empire's expansive territorial holdings provided access to a diverse range of resources, including agricultural produce, minerals, and luxury goods. Roman merchants traversed land and sea, navigating a complex network of trade routes to facilitate the exchange of these valuable commodities. The Mediterranean Sea served as the primary avenue for maritime trade within the Roman Empire. Rome's control of key ports, such as Ostia and Alexandria, and its establishment of naval bases ensured the security and regulation of maritime trade. The empire's navy, the classis Romana, played a crucial role in safeguarding trade routes, protecting merchant ships from piracy, and maintaining the empire's maritime dominance. One of the major trade routes of the Roman Empire was the maritime trade network known as the Mare Nostrum, or RC. This network connected various regions around the Mediterranean, allowing for the exchange of goods and ideas. Merchants sailed from Egypt to Italy, from Spain to Africa, and from Asia Minor to Greece, transporting commodities such as grain, olive oil, wine, textiles, and spices. In addition to maritime trade, the Romans developed an extensive system of roads, collectively known as the Roman road network. These roads facilitated overland trade and transportation throughout the empire. The roads, constructed with meticulous engineering and maintained by the state, allowed for the efficient movement of goods, troops, and information. The Roman road network connected major cities and military outposts, enabling the integration of diverse regions into a cohesive economic system. The Roman Empire also pioneered various economic mechanisms and institutions to support its flourishing trade. The use of coinage, with the denarius as the main currency, provided a standardized means of exchange, facilitating commercial transactions and promoting economic stability. The Roman government issued and regulated the coinage, ensuring its consistency and trustworthiness. The establishment of marketplaces, such as the Forum Romanum in Rome, facilitated commercial activities and served as centers for economic exchange. These marketplaces were bustling hubs of economic activity, where merchants, craftsmen, and consumers gathered to buy and sell goods. These markets not only supported local trade but also attracted merchants from different regions, fostering a cosmopolitan atmosphere and stimulating economic growth. The Roman Empire's economic system was supported by a range of economic actors and practices. Large estates, known as latifundia, played a crucial role in agricultural production. Slave labor was extensively used on these estates, providing a cheap and abundant workforce. Small-scale farmers and artisans also played a vital role in the economic fabric of the empire, contributing to the diversity and resilience of the Roman economy. Commercial practices such as long-distance trade, credit, and partnerships, known as societas, were common in the Roman economy. Merchants formed associations, known as collegia, to facilitate trade and protect their common interests. These associations regulated trade, established price controls, and provided a support network for merchants operating in different regions. The economic prosperity of the Roman Empire had significant implications for global trade. Rome's demand for goods from far-flung regions stimulated economic activity and fostered interregional connections. It led to the development of trade networks that extended beyond the empire's borders, connecting it with regions as distant as China, India, and the Arabian Peninsula. Furthermore, the economic mechanisms and practices developed in the Roman Empire influenced subsequent economic systems and trade practices. Roman concepts of coinage, marketplaces, and legal frameworks for commerce provided a foundation for the development of modern economic systems. The Roman Empire's emphasis on trade and economic growth laid the groundwork for the expansion of global trade networks in later centuries. Part 4: Urban life and infrastructure in the Roman Empire. Roman cities served as vibrant centers of political, economic, and cultural life within the empire. The urban planning, architecture, and infrastructure of these cities provide valuable insights into the daily lives of their inhabitants and showcase the remarkable achievements of Roman engineering and urban design. Exploring the cities of Rome, Pompeii, and Ephesus, among others, allows us to delve into the intricacies of urban life in the Roman Empire and appreciate the lasting impact of Roman urbanism. One of the most iconic cities of the Roman Empire was Rome itself. As the capital and heart of the empire, Rome exemplified the grandeur and sophistication of Roman urban planning. The city's urban layout, with its network of streets, squares, and monumental buildings, reflected a well-organized and thoughtfully designed urban environment. The central hub of Rome was the Forum Romanum, a public space that served as the political, commercial, and social heart of the city. It was surrounded by important administrative and religious buildings, such as the Curia, the Basilica Julia, and the Temple of Saturn. Roman cities were known for their impressive architecture, characterized by monumental structures that emphasized civic and religious functions. The Romans constructed grand temples, basilicas, theaters, amphitheaters, and bath complexes, which served as symbols of their power and cultural achievements. The Colosseum in Rome stands as an enduring testament to the grandeur of Roman architecture, while the Theater of Pompey in Rome and the theater at Ephesus demonstrate the Romans' mastery of designing and constructing entertainment venues. The Roman Empire was also renowned for its advanced infrastructure. Roman cities boasted well-maintained road networks, efficient water supply systems, and sophisticated sanitation facilities. The Romans constructed an extensive network of roads that connected cities and facilitated trade, military movements, and communication. The roads were paved with durable materials, such as stone, and featured milestones and waystations that provided vital services for travelers. These well-engineered roads formed the backbone of Roman infrastructure and contributed to the empire's unity and efficiency. Water supply was another area in which the Romans excelled. They developed intricate aqueduct systems that transported fresh water to cities, enabling a reliable supply for public baths, fountains, and private households. The aqueducts utilized gravity to transport water over long distances, employing arches and tunnels to navigate varied terrain. The Pont du Gard in France and the Aqueduct of Segovia in Spain are enduring examples of Roman aqueduct engineering. Sanitation was also a significant concern for the Romans. They constructed a sophisticated system of public and private sewage networks to manage waste and maintain cleanliness. Public latrines, public baths, and sewage systems were integral parts of Roman urban life, promoting hygiene and public health. In addition to these physical aspects, Roman cities were vibrant social and cultural centers. They featured bustling marketplaces, known as forums or fora, where trade and commerce flourished. The forums were surrounded by shops, workshops, and stalls, creating a lively atmosphere of economic activity. The Roman cities also had various public spaces, such as theaters and amphitheaters, where citizens gathered for entertainment and cultural events. Roman cities were socially diverse, housing people from various backgrounds and professions. They provided opportunities for education, social interaction, and upward mobility. The presence of public buildings, such as libraries, schools, and theaters, facilitated intellectual and cultural pursuits. Life in Roman cities was not limited to the elite. The urban poor, including freedmen, slaves, and lower-class citizens, inhabited insulae, multi-story apartment buildings. These crowded living quarters were a reflection of the social stratification within Roman society. The ruins of Pompeii offer a unique glimpse into the daily life of a Roman city. The preservation of this ancient city, buried by the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 CE, allows us to study its urban planning, architecture, and the daily routines of its inhabitants. The streets, houses, shops, and public buildings that have been unearthed in Pompeii provide a vivid picture of urban life in the Roman Empire. Ephesus, located in present-day Turkey, was another prominent Roman city. Its well-preserved ruins reveal a prosperous urban center with magnificent structures, such as the Library of Celsus and the Great Theatre. The extensive remains of the city showcase the achievements of Roman urban planning and architecture. Part 5: Gender and Society in the Roman Empire. The role of women and gender dynamics within the Roman Empire is a fascinating and complex area of study that offers insights into the diversity of experiences and social structures in ancient society. Investigating the rights, social status, and opportunities available to women during different periods of Roman history provides valuable perspectives on the complexity of gender relations in the ancient world. In the Roman Empire, the role and status of women varied depending on social class, ethnicity, and historical context. While Roman society was patriarchal, women held diverse positions and had a range of rights and opportunities available to them. In early Roman society, women enjoyed greater freedoms and participation in public life. In the Roman Republic, women from elite families had some degree of political influence, particularly within the household. They played roles in family affairs, managed household finances, and participated in religious rituals. Some women of the senatorial class were known to exert political influence through their husbands, fathers, or sons, and were valued for their connections and influence. However, as the Roman Empire transitioned from the Republic to the imperial period, social and cultural changes influenced the status and role of women. The consolidation of power under the emperors brought a shift towards a more conservative social order. The Emperor Augustus, for example, sought to reinforce traditional Roman values and promote the institution of marriage and family. He implemented legislation, such as the Lex Julia, which aimed to encourage marriage and increase the birth rate among the Roman elite. Under this new social order, the role of women became more focused on the private sphere of the household. The idealized Roman woman, known as the matrona, was expected to be virtuous, chaste, and dedicated to her domestic duties. The patrician women were revered for their role as mothers and bearers of legitimate heirs, as well as their influence over the household. However, their influence in public affairs and political decision-making diminished during this period. Despite these shifts, it is important to note that the experiences of women varied widely across social classes. Women from lower social classes often had to work outside the home to support their families. They engaged in a range of occupations, such as agricultural labor, domestic service, or craftsmanship. These women had more practical and economic freedoms compared to their elite counterparts. The legal rights and protections afforded to women also evolved over time. In early Roman law, women enjoyed certain legal rights, such as the ability to own property and engage in business transactions. However, over the course of the empire, these rights were curtailed, and women became increasingly dependent on male relatives for legal and financial matters. Women's legal status was often tied to their relationship with male family members, such as their fathers or husbands. Notwithstanding these constraints, there were exceptions to the prevailing gender norms, and some women were able to achieve notable positions and influence within society. For example, women of the imperial family, such as Empress Livia, gained considerable political power and influence through their marital alliances. Women who belonged to the imperial household could exercise significant authority and shape imperial policy. Religion also played a role in defining the social status and opportunities for women. Women had important roles within religious practices and were often associated with the worship of specific deities. The Vestal Virgins, for instance, held esteemed positions as priestesses of the goddess Vesta and were revered for their role in maintaining the sacred fire of Rome. While the historical record predominantly reflects the experiences and perspectives of elite women, the archaeological evidence and inscriptions from different regions of the empire provide glimpses into the lives of women from diverse social backgrounds. Inscriptions on funerary monuments and epitaphs often offer valuable insights into the roles, achievements, and familial connections of non-elite women. Part 6: Environmental Factors and the Decline of the Roman Empire. The impact of environmental factors on the decline of the Roman Empire is an area of increasing interest among historians. exploring how environmental changes, including climate change, resource depletion, and natural disasters, affected agricultural productivity, migration patterns, and the empire's ability to sustain its population provides valuable insights into the broader challenges faced by ancient societies. Climate change played a significant role in shaping the fortunes of the Roman Empire. The empire experienced periods of climatic instability, including the late antique Little Ice Age, c. 536 to 660 CE. This period witnessed colder temperatures, frequent droughts, and erratic weather patterns, which had profound effects on agriculture and food production. Crops failed, leading to famine and a decline in agricultural productivity. The scarcity of food undermined social stability, contributed to unrest, and weakened the empire's ability to sustain its population. Resource depletion. The Roman Empire's extensive exploitation of natural resources, including timber, metals, and agricultural land, led to resource depletion and environmental degradation. The demand for resources to sustain the empire's economic and military expansion strained local ecosystems. Deforestation, overgrazing, and soil erosion resulted in the degradation of agricultural land and diminished yields. The depletion of natural resources, coupled with the growing population, placed immense pressure on the empire's ability to sustain itself. Natural disasters. The Roman Empire was also vulnerable to natural disasters, such as earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and floods. These events could devastate cities, infrastructure, and agricultural lands. The eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 CE, which buried the cities of Pompeii and Herculaneum, serves as a poignant example of the destructive power of natural disasters. The reconstruction efforts and the diversion of resources to manage the aftermath of such disasters strained the empire's already stretched resources. Desertification. In some regions of the empire, desertification posed a significant environmental challenge. The expansion of deserts, particularly in North Africa, led to the loss of fertile land and reduced agricultural productivity. The Roman reliance on these regions for grain production meant that desertification had direct implications for food security and the stability of the empire. Disease and epidemics. Environmental factors could also contribute to the spread of diseases and epidemics. Environmental degradation, population growth, and changing patterns of human settlement facilitated the transmission of diseases. Instances of outbreaks, such as the Antonine Plague, 165 to 180 CE, and the Justinian Plague, 541 to 750 CE, had severe demographic and social consequences. These epidemics further weakened the empire and disrupted social and economic structures. The interplay of these environmental factors contributed to a decline in agricultural productivity, increased vulnerability to famine, and social instability. The strain on resources, coupled with population pressures, led to a decline in living standards for many, including the urban poor. Migration patterns shifted as people sought more fertile lands or moved to urban centers, placing additional burdens on already strained resources. While it is essential to acknowledge the impact of environmental factors, it is crucial to recognize that they interacted with other complex social, political, and economic factors in the decline of the Roman Empire. The empire faced multiple challenges simultaneously, and environmental factors acted as stressors that exacerbated existing pressures. Studying the influence of environmental factors on the decline of the Roman Empire enhances our understanding of the broader challenges faced by ancient societies. It underscores the vulnerability of civilizations to environmental changes and highlights the interconnectedness between human societies and their environments. Furthermore, the lessons learned from the decline of the Roman Empire can provide valuable insights into the contemporary challenges posed by climate change and resource depletion, highlighting the importance of sustainable practices and resilience in the face of environmental changes. Thanks for watching to the end. See you in new videos.